morning, Al.
Good morning.
Lovely to speak with you today. I'm very curious to find out more about you because I already know that you have had a very interesting life journey, worked in disciplines such as dance and martial arts, and you've broken boundaries in your healing and your coaching, which I have had great benefit from. And I know now you're about to move into a really exciting new phase. So I'd love to ask you, where does this all begin?
Oh,
Start from the beginning.
where does it begin? Wow. Where was I born? Okay, I was born in Toronto, Canada. My dad was a diplomat, and so I traveled around a lot. We moved from Canada to Venezuela, to Jamaica, to Trinidad, to England. Then they moved on to Nigeria, and I stayed in London. And yeah, that was when I was 18. So between birth and 18, I moved around to a few countries.
And how do you feel that this type of childhood was formative for you in your, how you lived your future life?
Looking back now, it was really formative because one of the big things that we try to do in this awakening journey is to let go of what is true, what is real, to accept everything that comes our way. And growing up in an ever-changing environment, I think I learned from age dot that everything changes. My friends changed, my home changed, school changed. Everywhere had a different way of being, different way of doing things. And so I never had a set way of being. So letting go now, letting go of what is almost second nature to me. So I'm very thankful for that.
Well, I'm thankful too, because you've been helping me do exactly the same thing, which feels like exactly what needs to happen at this point in our life here in this realm. And I do relate really well to what you're saying. So that's fantastic. And I know you had one particularly formative experience which must have contributed to that, which you told me about briefly, which was when you were living somewhere and there was a massive earthquake. I mean, that was a terrifying experience to go through, where everything you would have expected to have been normal was exactly not. Do you want to touch on that, or is that not?
Yes, I can. I was, I think, about 7 years old, 8 years old. We were living in Venezuela at the time. And there was, as you say, a massive earthquake. The apartment building next to us disappeared into the ground. The one a few blocks over fell over, completely tumbled down. The apartment building, we were in twin buildings. And when we came out, the building next to us had no front door. And in fact, the third floor was actually at ground level. We managed to get out of our building, but I don't remember this that well. But as the story goes, my mom had to jump down half a flight of stairs or something like that because the stairs had crumbled. And then I had to jump into her arms, and my little brother as well. So yeah, it was quite traumatic as a child. And I had some stress after that. I had some problems after that, but got through it over the years.
And I imagine working through something as formative that at the age of 7, which is in fact a very, very formative age, would have actually contributed to your ability to cope with and face changes and accept and roll with it, knowing that in fact your own reality is within your inner being.
Well, I think, yes, coming through that, it took a few years. It took a good few years to work through that, especially as a child. I didn't really know what was going on. I would say I probably didn't work through it till my late teens, when I was able to to really look back and see why I was feeling as I was. Maybe to be honest, probably in my early 20s, really.
So the next 7 is to 21. Show me a child at 7 and I'll show you the adult. Then 7 to 21 is a formative.
Yeah.
Interesting. Just the 7 to me, it just struck me that's kind of interesting. Really.
Yes, it was about that time when I got into.
When you were 28, you can touch on that if you want.
Well, at 21, I went through school and I was very much into the sciences. And I was enrolled to go to the University of London to study biochemistry. And over that summer, I did a 180-degree turn and went into the arts instead and became a dancer. So that was at 21, or maybe between 19, 20, 21, I'm not quite sure. And so after a decade of dance.
You excelled at that too, didn't you?
I did quite well, yeah. I danced in professional dance companies, modern dance, through London, and then went back to Canada, danced at Toronto Dance Theatre, Winnipeg Contemporary, did a lot of my own work. Until the age of 30.
And were you practicing your martial arts through this time as well, Algernon?
No, martial arts came after that. So I'm pretty well, after that came massage therapy. I actually started massage the first term that I started dance. The massage therapist for the company, London Contemporary Dancers, he did a workshop for the new students to drum business for himself. But I fell in love with massage from that moment. And I became that person that everyone came to have their legs rubbed, their back rubbed. So I started doing massage from then. So a decade plus later, when I left dance, that was the thing to do. So I'd been doing it all the time. I loved doing it. So I became a massage therapist and continued working with dancers. And so that was my next career. And
one moment, you excelled at that as well, I believe. Hearing that on the course you did, you kind of topped your year, and that was the first massage course run to that was acknowledged, on a I was going to say medicinal level, but that's not the right word, but as a kind of therapeutic qualification that held a great deal of mana.
Yeah, so Sutherland and Chan, the two people who co-founded our school, they were the forerunners in bringing massage therapy to be recognized. At the moment, well, not at the moment, but then in Canada, you had to be registered. You became a registered massage therapist. We were licensed by the government in a school of massage therapy, very much like chiropractors. And that was very much due to these two women, Sutherland and Chan, who really put massage therapy on the map in Canada. And then they went on to do the same in some states in North America, in America. So yeah, I did very well during that school, went on to teach there for a while. In fact, I was the first student to teach right after leaving school. There's usually a gap of 1 or 2 years before they ask a student to come back, but I started teaching straight away.
Now, having experienced actually years of massage with you, and I have to just keep coming back because nothing I have done has held and shifted and changed and met my need in the same way as coming to see you with that massage. I'm curious to know that healing ability, which comes through so clearly in your massage work, was that there present in the beginning, or did that begin at some other point in time?
Well, it's hard to say, really. I've always, right from the very beginning, I remember having a debate with another student about whether massage was pure science, or whether there was magic to it. And I was strongly in the belief that there was an element of magic to touch and the energy exchange, which he believed there wasn't. It was all the physiology of what we were doing. So in that respect, it was there from the beginning. But as I continued to study, I just became a sponge. Right after massage school, I went on to do craniosacral therapy. I did orthobionomy. I then went on to do Reiki. I became a Reiki master. I studied the constellation. I studied the reconnective healing and the reconnection. So I kept adding tools to my toolbox. And so what you've experienced is all of that put together. Because some people like to keep them separate, and you come to do this or you come to do that. For me, I always liked allowing whatever the person called for. So as you've experienced, I might be doing deep tissue one moment, and then the next moment I might be right off your body doing some energy work because the body's had enough and it's asking for something different. So that's how it worked.
That you are so incredibly true. I walk away every single time from the experience with an inner calm and an amazing. I'm very uplifted from those experiences, and they stay, often for quite some time. So yeah, I feel that, and I think that wonderful mixture of all, like you said, the disciplines coming through, it's very evident as a person receiving that there's you and the person, and then also something more. You feel it. There's something else that's coming through there with that work.
It's good to know. And you asked what happened at 28. At around 28, no, it would have been later than that. Would have been later than 28. But the next thing in line for me was the coaching.
Yeah.
After I'd done all the physical and energy work, then I became a life coach. Mm-hmm. And that's when this whole new chapter started. Because I didn't only have people on the table, but then we started talking more. And also as a martial arts sensei, I would have people waiting for me at the door in the morning because something happened in their lives and they didn't speak to their parents or significant other. They came to speak to their sensei. So I had been doing that for a long time anyway.
Right. And then sensei is kind of a coaching and healing role as well, the discipline being really in a experience for people who are practicing.
Well, yeah, in the martial arts, it depends on how you see it. But for us, the martial arts is the do, the way of life. So it's not just the kicking and the punching and that kind of discipline, but it's also how you live your life. Can you live your life in the martial arts way? And so, yes, that there is that sense of being a life coach, being a supporting person for your students.
Yeah. Right. Well, that leads me actually to asking about where your place is here in this world at this moment, and how you see, well, a lot of people being caught into a dimension which is creating stress and conflict, and yet you seem to be able to keep this amazing equilibrium, and you've helped me with that as well through your coaching. And I also know other people who've been transformed by your coaching, very, very knowledgeable, but also powerful because you have ability to see, as how I would say it, and tune in and share in a very simple and very clear way this healing that you channel, you have. So I'm wondering, in this particular time, you have seen around us a lot of people struggling, not coping, and being caught into a very material world that is full of fear. But you don't seem to have fear. I'm around you, and fear drops away. Can you tell me about that?
That's a big one.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. There's many elements there. Yes, there's a lot of strife right now, and a lot of people are struggling. That's because the world is awakening and the energy is shifting. We won't go into that right now, but as the energy shifts in the world, everything that is not truly you needs to shift, needs to move. So what that is doing is stirring a lot of emotions, bringing up a lot of hidden and things that we've tucked away and we haven't wanted to deal with. They're coming up to be seen and to be released.
Right.
And so I would say the majority of the world isn't aware of what's going on energetically. In fact, the majority of the world don't believe in an energetic realm. And so this is happening anyway, and they are just struggling to cope. And their worlds are getting busy, their worlds are getting frantic, their worlds are getting filled with conflict, and they don't understand where it's coming from.
More and more people are searching for things like yoga or meditation, or the things which are already kind of more mainstreamly accepted in terms of supporting us in this time. I see that, I hear that, I feel that. People are doing that. Yet this is a step forward, further ahead as well. So where's your place in this, and what are you wanting? What are you wanting to, well, you're very much a generous, giving person. What are you wanting to bring to this situation and give to people to support them with that shift?
To put it simply, to help them remember, to help people remember who they truly are, to awaken to their true nature. One of the beautiful things that drew me to the reconnective healing is that in reconnective healing, you do not actually heal anybody. You do not diagnose anything. All you do is to open the door to all that is, to the energetic fields, whatever you choose to call it. And then both you and your client dance in that field, and they will take whatever they need to take in that moment. Your role is, because you have been there before, the word sensei is one who has come before. And likewise in the reconnective healing, because you have done it before, because you have been there before, you've experienced the energy before, you are able to open up to that energy and help that person resonate with it, and then they take what they need. And that's what I try to bring to my coaching and my teaching as well.
Well, I would take the word tried out, Algernon, because from personal experience and actually from several people I know in our community, is exactly what you're doing.
Glad to hear that. But yeah, we're always trying, we're always moving forward.
Sorry to interrupt.
I'm just saying that we're always trying, because we're always moving forward. There's always more. We're all growing, we're all remembering who we truly are. None of us are there yet.
Yeah, and so, it's exciting, isn't it?
It is exciting. It is exciting.
Very exciting. Well, I feel like I've had those questions which were burning in me answered. I'm sure I'll think of a few more. But is there anything else you'd like to share before we conclude our conversation?
Not really. You already, earlier on in the course, you've heard about how the 7 simple shifts came about, and
yes, of course.
And
no, yeah, I want to hear that again. Can you remind me?
Well, the 7 simple shifts came, I would say, well, I'm just going to let my dog in. The 7 simple shifts came, I would say, over 20 years ago now. It's been a while.
When you even mentioned writing your book.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago. I wrote the book. But it was before that, but it was about 20 years ago that I started remembering my dreams. And I'm a person who, I don't usually remember dreams. So remembering my dreams was a big thing. And in my dream, I was in this amazing class and I was learning esoteric truths, and it was amazing. I'd wake up in the morning and be wowed, you know. And I tried to remember and write things down, but of course it was never as amazing as it was in the dream. It never is. And as time went on, I realized that I was actually teaching the class. And that blew my mind. At that point, 20 years ago, I hadn't been coaching for that long. I was a coach, but I hadn't been coaching for that long. So the idea that I was teaching the class was huge. And then especially I tried to write things down. I'd go to sleep with the pen and paper by my side, wake up and I try to write things down. And when I read it back, it was half of what I dreamt. I didn't remember the details of it, but it was never what I dreamt. And then one day, while I was coaching, I just said something. And it dawned on me that what I had just said was actually from a dream. And I realized that I didn't have to remember it, but it would be there when I needed it. And as time went on, I got a statement from the dream. A statement remained. I woke up in the morning and there was this one statement. And it wasn't anything amazing. It was a statement, a truth. Love yourself. Something like that.
And that's the essence in the beginning of the 7 shifts. I remember doing the 7 shifts course. Powerful.
And
first thing.
And as time went on, another statement came, and another statement came. And over a course of months, they ended up being 7 statements. They didn't all come at once. It was very gradual. And I had these 7 statements, which again, looking at them, you wouldn't think that much of them. It's nothing new. I'd heard them before. But then again, while I was coaching and in my own life, something would come up and you'd go, oh, that's related to statement number 4. Oh, that's statement number 3. Oh, that's statement number 7. And slowly, over a course of probably 2 years, they morphed into what is now the 7 simple shifts. And what I've come to realize is that on their own, there are 7 statements. But together, when we work them together, they become this overriding platform for change and transformation. They give us...
And the sequence is important. When I did this and I integrated it and I've come back again and again to it, and I have your book, these encompass everything. There is nothing that doesn't fit into the 7 shifts. And when I look at it across other things I've explored, you know, my interest in the Buddhist philosophies and psychology, it's all, in fact, if you take out religion out of the religion and go to the essence of the love at the heart of what religion is supposed to be, all of these things, they're all in the 7 shifts. And the 7 shifts, the sequence of the 7 shifts is now driving my personal growth. And it's so empowering. And once you have embedded those things, they just become a part of you. It's always a journey, and I'm still trying.
We all are.
Keep moving forward. But I think the 7 shifts have been the most, and I've always explored of moving forward and growing, but they have been the most formative and powerful tool in my kite. Absolutely.
Wonderful. So you asked where I'm going. Yes. I've been teaching the 7 simple shifts for many years, and I've seen it help countless clients, hundreds, maybe even touching on 1,000. I don't know, countless clients. But that's one-on-one over many years. So now I'm bringing it. It's taken me some time. I've been wanting to do this for, at least 5 years, if not more. Putting it onto the internet so that I can reach more people, so we can have a community.
It is.
things always happen at the perfect time. And I've been patient with it. I haven't worried that it hasn't happened yet. I knew that it would happen, and it's happening now. And so the idea is to build this community where we all are working with the 7 simple shifts. So that anytime you have a problem, anytime you have an issue, you can come to myself or Anne, or just within the community, and we will talk about whatever your issue is in the language of the 7 simple shifts.
That is great. It is such a wonderful thing to hear that is now taking off, because I know from my own personal experience what gold it is. You know, what a wealth of I just know that this is something that is going to help so many people, and now is the time. Now is exactly the right time.
It is the time. And also to be able to talk to other people doing the same thing. Because so many clients, they come and they're with me and we have this conversation, and they go home and their friends and family don't understand what they're talking about. They have no reference points.
When the penny drops, it is the most simple. I suppose why you call it simple 7 shifts. Do you call it 7 simple
shifts?
Yeah, that's why, because it actually, when the penny drops, it is so achievable, so simple, so to make these shifts. And it makes the difference, yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
And I look forward to, with eager anticipation, to where to.
Well, you'll be one of the first in, one of the first to know.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
You too, Claire. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.